All right, welcome back. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I got some comments going on in the comment section. So let's see if I can answer some of these. Some of them maybe not. So I got, I'm only going to go back, let's say a week. And Robert R says, helps if we can hear you. I don't know. That was for a battery, my battery video right there. I don't know what that means. I made that thing like 3 years ago. Moving on. Stay classy, San Diego. Thank you. Seb R56 says, I wish I could have noticed this trick before. I had to wrestle with the springs. Okay, great. Randall Sargent says, these are great. Create a video how to find a ground issue on an '08 Mini Cooper. After a strong rain or a car wash, my Mini Cooper electronics go haywire and the car acts as if it has a bad battery. If I leave the car, even after I leave the car, even locking it, the hatch will just randomly unlatches on its own. So far I've checked the grounds directly, and besides the battery, both seem to be good. I'm at a loss. All right, Randall, more than likely you have a bad JBE, junction box electronics, and you said it's an '08. Hopefully it's not a convertible, because they made the convertibles up to '08, and that was the first gen. If it's a first gen convertible, then it's something completely different. But if it's what I think it is, it could be that the junction box electronics are getting wet. It's in the kick panel of the passenger side. After it rains or you wash it, see if it's getting wet in there and causing things to go haywire. That's just a first impression. You cannot fix a car over the internet, but I can at least try to point you in the right direction, right? All right, moving on. Peter Sisson, back to Warp Seed. Thank you, brother. And then from Mike, he asks about a jack point on the second gen minis. So I actually have a pinch weld to show you. So this is going to be on the Countryman. This is where I always lift it from. Yeah, they have these little pinch welds right there. Oh, let me get a flashlight. You can see a little better. Yeah, you got these little pinch welds right there. What is that, about 4 inches long or so, that drop down? And I see you're probably talking about this oblong thing. That was probably for how they used to do it, but they decided to be cheap and not do it like that anymore. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that little hole right there, but I just use a little pinch welds right there. You can even see that. That should be. So yeah, these four that stick down, they're about 4 inches. That's what I use. And you're probably talking about that little oblong thing. So on those, on the second gen, look at this. That little block right here. That's what you should be lifting it from. See, on this side, I got it, right? Right there. It's right on it. Is it on it over there? It is, right there. It's on it. So we got 3 points of contact. Convertibles are always a little tricky. I bet you I could probably... No, it's on there. So for the most part, first, second gens, you should have that block plate or block, and that's where you should be lifting it from. All right. So I hope that answers your question. Move on to the next one, huh? I'll probably try to do this maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, because it's really tough to get back and run a business and answer comments and questions and stuff. And then we got Maggie. She says, until you're able to fix your transmission, it's okay to use Lucas Transmission Fix. And where do you put the transmission fix? There's no dipstick. Check the level. And she kind of teases herself there. So there is no dipstick for the transmission. And typically, depending on what year did you say it was, an 06, is probably the solenoids, the shift solenoids. So that's not going to make a difference. I mean, if you want to try, I've gone rounds with people. I had one gentleman tell me that I told him he wanted to do a transmission fluid flush. I'm like, it's not going to fix it. And he's like, well, if you don't do it, I'm gonna pay somebody else to do it. So I did it 3 times. He paid me to do it, and guess what? It never fixed it until we fixed the problem of the valve body and replacing the solenoids. And I replaced the valve bodies because they're already done on a flow bench. Like, you get that from the dealer, it's gonna be locked in. You don't have to think about it. And I've probably mentioned this before, that I use an update valve body. So the first gen transmissions, which is 02 to 06, and if it's a convertible up to 08, they had a bad valve body. The solenoids, the shift solenoids were bad. I think I got one on the floor out here actually, to show you the difference. All right, we do. So this is a first gen valve body on the transmission, and you can see how big these shift solenoids are, right? And then this is the second gen valve body, and see how small these shift solenoids are. So they're an updated solenoid. So even on first gens, I put the second gen valve body on. So let's say you go to the dealership and they say, okay, what's the VIN of your car? So they get the right part. They're gonna put they're gonna give you a new bad valve body. So you wanna get a VIN for like an 07 to 2010, actually up to 2013. So if you got a buddy, use that VIN, because all the transmissions are the same. All right, that's a little tech tip for you. So typically on your style transmission, you're probably dealing with a shift solenoid, and doing the additive probably isn't going to do anything. I mean, if it's 20 bucks, you feel like doing it, okay, what's it going to hurt? But I think that's going to be the real answer, Maggie, is replacing the valve body. All right, unless it's been driven a long time like that, then it can do damage to the clutch packs. Then you're pulling the transmission out and rebuilding it, doing what you can. So, all right, guys, thanks for the comments and the questions and everything. Like I said, I'll try to do this like every week or 2 weeks, depending on that. If I have the cars, you know, readily available, like this one, the Countryman I did have here. So if not, I'll probably wait until I get one of those in, and if I can remember, I will try to do a video. All right, thanks guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.